Greetings to all of you. I want to talk today about this full moon and partial lunar eclipse that we will have on September 17th or 18th, depending on where you're located around the globe. This full moon partial lunar eclipse is also a supermoon, meaning that the moon is in its orbit at its closest to the Earth. So it will increase its brightness and increase the powerful energies that will be coming to us at the time of this full moon and eclipse. And remember that these eclipses, we're moving now into the eclipse season, and these times of eclipses come close to the times of the equinoxes. And the time of the equinox is very much about the balance of light and dark. And we're now in this time of this partial lunar eclipse, reminding us of the light and dark. So I think this is an important time to be attuning to those energies of light and dark within each of us. And I think this full moon is a very powerful full moon that is guiding us in going into a deep time of meditation and reflection and capacity to open to some very powerful energies that can help us expand our consciousness and deepen in our own transformational process in this time. Let me show you the energies of the chart at the time of this full moon. We will experience this full moon and partial lunar eclipse when the moon is at 25 degrees of Pisces opposite the sun at 25 degrees of Virgo. Part of what's extraordinary about this particular full moon is you'll notice that it's a part of a kite formation, which is a very powerful formation where you have a grand trine. And in this case, the grand trine is an Earth grand trine with the Sun, Uranus, and Pluto. And then you have these two sextiles with the focal point opposite the sun being this full moon. And this is a very powerful full moon in that the moon is conjunct Neptune and also Saturn and is sextiling both Pluto and Uranus. I mentioned in the new moon video how significant it is that we have all three transpersonal planets very actively engaged at the time of this full moon. Remember that the transpersonal planets guide us in opening our spiritual consciousness, in opening to other ways of knowing. Neptune supports us in expanding our intuition, the way in which we can open to the guidance in the dream time. Neptune is connecting us to cosmic consciousness. Uranus can provide us with these downloads, with these flashes of insight and clarity, and it also guides us through synchronicities. And Pluto is that planet that supports us in tuning in at a very deep level within ourselves and being able to see what's going on beneath the surface, to attune to what may be hidden, to what may be buried beneath the surface that needs to come to the light of consciousness. So honor the fact that at the time of this full moon, you may feel your own psychic gifts, your own intuition growing stronger. And I really encourage you to take time to meditate at the time of this full moon. Set intentions for your dream time, the night before the full moon, the night after the full moon, to open to whatever guidance from spirit, from your own spirit guides and helpers can come through to you. because these energies are very transformational. We're still experiencing these planets in retrograde. Again, as I mentioned in the new moon video, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Chiron are all retrograde, which again is reinforcing that this is a time for reflection, a time to go inward. And Pluto continues now until November to be in Capricorn. Remember, it will be here until November 20th when it will move fully into Aquarius, guiding us more fully into those paradigms of the Aquarian age. It's continuing to deconstruct in our global community what needs to be torn down in order to prepare us to move into the new forms. It's also guiding you in doing a deep inner dive to see. Remember, this is a partial lunar eclipse. Allow yourself to tune in with the support of Pluto to whatever is in the shadows within yourself. We need to clear what may be blocking us, what may be holding us into constriction or patterns from the past or trauma from the past that can make it more difficult for us to open to the energies that are coming to us at this time, the cosmic energies, the galactic and solar energies that are supporting us in our expanding our consciousness, supporting us in this time of transformation. So allow Pluto to support you in diving deep into what you may need to explore within yourself that needs to come from the shadows into the light of consciousness for healing. Remember, it's a powerful part of this transformational grand trine with the sun and with Uranus. And Uranus in Taurus is supporting us in attuning to the wisdom of our bodies, Taurus, to the wisdom of the earth and natural law, to see whatever we need to clear and release within ourselves to be more in our true selves. Uranus guides us in breaking out of the patterns that no longer serve us. Neptune is really guiding us to allow ourselves to go into deep states of meditation, to go into altered states of consciousness, to open to these energies and their transformational power, and to open to the guidance that's there for us. I think it's incredibly helpful that Saturn is also conjunct the full moon at this time, helping us to ground and integrate these cosmic energies. Remember that Pisces is that energy that supports us in connecting to the other realms and connecting to the oneness of all that is. So this is a profound full moon that is supporting us in looking at the light and dark within us, clearing what we need to clear so that we can expand and open our hearts more fully to these energies of the cosmic consciousness that are filling us with love and wisdom so that we can expand and emanate that in our relationships with everyone around us. It's also significant that we have a T-square at the time of this full moon with the sun and moon and Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter will continue to expand these energies, support us in how we're integrating them in our beliefs, helping us to have faith in this transition and transformation that we're in. And it's also significant that Sedna is a part of this configuration and this kite. I don't often look at Sedna in its aspects with the planets in our inner solar system, because Sedna is that planet that is so far out in our solar system. Its orbit is approximately 11,400 years. But I do think it's important that it is bringing its energy into this time of the full moon and helping us remember that story of Sedna, the goddess of the deep sea, that Inuit goddess who reminds us of that story of Sedna, who goes through her own process of spiritual initiation, who lets go of the boat that's been holding her in the stormy seas to dive deep into the ocean and dissolve into her expanded spiritual self, to morph and transform into the goddess of the deep sea. I think Sedna is such a reminder to us that we too are in a time of metamorphosis where we are expanding our consciousness, dissolving our blocks, allowing ourselves to be transforming into homo luminous ones, energy beings, to move into these higher states of consciousness, to remember how to open these other senses and other ways of knowing, how to remember what we're capable of as humans as we connect more and align more with our hearts that can connect with that unified field, that oneness of all that is. And as we align more fully with our soul selves and open to these galactic energies that are reminding us of our deep connection with the galactic energies and with the oneness of all that is. This is a very powerful, meditative, dream-like full moon. And I think it's also helpful that the sun and Mercury are in Virgo, helping us know how to integrate that and ground that. So I really encourage you at the time of this full moon to also take time out in nature and ground yourself. Allow yourself to feel that connection with the earth so that you can open your crown chakra, open to these energies of these transpersonal planets, open to the galactic energies that are coming to us to support us in this time of expansion and transformation. Remember that in the tumult of these times, and as we're moving towards the end of the Kali Yuga, as we're moving through this threshold from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, it is a tumultuous time. And we are seeing with Pluto in Capricorn the increasing turbulence of these systems and structures that are deconstructing in order for us to move into the new forms. But keep your energy in connection with your heart to find that inner stillness in the midst of the storminess of these times, and allow yourself to remember in the midst of the turbulence around us, we have the capacity to be in alignment with these energies of cosmic consciousness that are coming to us through the sun, through the moon, through these powerful transpersonal planetary energies, to be in this process of transformation and to be holding that energy of higher consciousness and grounding it here on the earth. Then we can be supporting the shift in the collective consciousness to make this transition as gentle as it can be. Remember, as Jude Currivan talks about, we are co-creators with the cosmos. These energies are not acting on us. These planetary energies are not controlling us or the events around us. When we align with our consciousness and what we are capable of in our connection with and alignment with cosmic consciousness, then we are co-creators with these energies, and we can influence how they manifest, not only in our own lives, but we can impact the morphogenic field and impact how they're manifesting in our global community. Remember, this is such a profound time on the planet when the planet herself is in a process of ascension. We are being called to clear the darkness that we need to clear what's been held in the shadows, to clear the dysfunction and disconnection and division that we've been caught in as humanity in this time of the Kali Yuga, the time of forgetting, the time of disconnection, and the time where we get into these ways in which we forget our connection to the sun and moon and stars and planets, and we constrict ourselves and limit ourselves and get caught in our minds in ways then we get caught in polarization and have been caught in these dynamics of power over hierarchy, these paradigms of the patriarchal period. We are releasing those energies that have kept us in dysfunction. We are releasing those paradigms of the past. And Pluto in Capricorn is guiding us in that cauldron of transformation to come more fully into the true gold of who we are and what we're capable of. I think it is so crucial in this time of transition and transformation to not be caught in the storminess of this time. Remember, as I've talked about in the past, this is like going through the process of hard labor for birthing the new birth. We are moving through the birth canal in our own transformational process and with the earth in her process of transformation and ascension. And at times it can feel overwhelming and painful and stressful. But remember the context that we're in. And this is about our moving through this transition, this liminal time into a new birth, into a new earth. And we have the ability to be active co-creators with this birthing process, with this transition process. But we also have the capacity with our free will and with the choices that we make to make this a more turbulent time or to play this out in the way that has happened in the past at these critical times in the precessional cycle, where we resist or stay disconnected from these energies that are guiding us to heal and transform. And then we will go through a cataclysmic reset because the earth will heal. The earth will be in her transformational process. And we can choose how we're going to participate in that. I think it is profound that the Sabian symbol, the meaning of that Sabian symbol for this full moon is about how we embrace our free will and our individual choice in how we respond to the energies that are coming to us. It's also profound that the Sabian symbol, the meaning of that for Neptune conjunct this full moon in Pisces, is about light breaking into many colors as it moves through a prism. I think that Sabian symbol in particular is so powerfully guiding us to understand the theme of this full moon. Full moon in Pisces, conjunct Neptune, the ruler of Pisces. That this degree of Neptune is saying the light of the sun, the light of these cosmic energies is coming to us like light moving through a prism that scatters in the colors of the rainbow. And we each have our own unique experience of that light. We each are a fractal of cosmic consciousness. We each have our own individual color, hue, nuance, frequency that we're meant to bring out in this cosmic rainbow and in this symphony of the spheres. We are each unique in how we can experience this light and refract it and reflect it in this global community and in our relationship with the oneness of all that is. So it's important to honor at the time of this full moon that we're being called into that Piscean energy and the energy of these transpersonal planets, to remember that we're a part of the unified field, the oneness of all that is, that unity consciousness. But we're meant to express that and manifest that in the multiplicity and diversity of who we all are and our own individual conscious expression of that. So honor at the time of this full moon as you take time to meditate, to be attuning to that true gold in who you are. What are the unique gifts that you have to express in the world in this time? What are the unique ways in which you experience this light of the full moon and the light of the sun and these cosmic energies that you can then express it in your own way to be of service in this time? Honor those gifts and allow yourself to honor that light within you and how you can bring it out more fully in this time. It's also interesting that the Sabian symbol for the sun at the time of this full moon is about how do we honor humility as a spiritual practice. So as we're opening to these cosmic energies and feeling the expansion of our consciousness, we are also meant to ground ourselves in our connection with the earth, to connect to that energy of sun in Virgo, helping us integrate these energies and know how we can live them and manifest them in our daily lives, and in how we can honor these gifts and energies flowing through us and come from a place of honoring and humility rather than a place of ego. Part of what is fostering the turbulence in this time is the way in which, when we get caught in ego, we get caught in that disconnection from our awareness that we are interconnected with each other and with all that is. So we get caught more and more in that survival pattern or that struggle for power, for control, for our own success, for our own achievements, for our own consumerism. That is a part of what's fostered so much division, so much conflict, so much destruction on the planet, in our relationships with each other, in our relationships with the earth, in our relationships with the life around us. So another message of this full moon is allow these energies to dissolve your ego, to come into connection with your soul self, to allow your ego to be in service to your soul self and not the master or the driver of who you are. Let your ego be the servant and not the one in control. Then it supports us in opening more fully to that sense of love coming from our hearts, our sense of compassion for each other, our awareness of the beauty and intricacy and complexity of this life around us and how we are one note in this symphony of the spheres. We are one spark of light in this cosmic light moving through this prism of consciousness. Then we can celebrate that and honor the diversity of who we are, and yet honor the unity of all that is. Let me now show you where the sun and the moon are in the sky at the time of this full moon. So you can see this full moon partial eclipse will be with the moon conjunct Neptune here in the stars of Pisces, between the head of one of the fish of Pisces and Cetus the whale. This is such a beautiful image when you look at where this moon is in the sky. It's in the part of the sky called the waters. It's in the sea, in the sky. And remember, as Veda Austin would talk about, the waters of our earth hold the memories of all that is and can guide us in diving deep into our own remembering of who we are and of what we're capable of as humanity on this planet. It can allow us to cleanse and clear what we need to clear, to dive deep into that wisdom that is there and is available to us to be expanding and opening to higher consciousness in this profound time. And the sun opposite the full moon is here in the stars of Virgo. And remember that Virgo is the harvest goddess, and the sun is actually in the part of the harvest goddess, the wings of this goddess. This is a part of this constellation that is about our bridging the worlds, the world of the transcendent realm and this tangible realm. It's helping us ground and bring into form these powerful transpersonal energies of this full moon. And I think it's also significant that Venus at the time of this full moon is conjunct Spica. Spica is the sheaf of wheat in the hand of the goddess, guiding us in how we can be in relationship with each other that is nurturing and of service to each other, and how we can be connecting with these gifts that we uniquely have to bring them out, to manifest them in a way that is supporting the transition that we're in with each other, supporting this process of co-creating a new earth. I really very consciously wanted to focus on how powerful these transpersonal energies are at the time of this full moon, supporting us and going deep within, supporting us in remembering who we truly are, supporting us in reconnecting with our hearts and in opening to these energies of higher consciousness, to be in this transformational process that we're in, to be co-creating new ways of being and a new earth together, but that we're also being guided to ground those energies, to be integrating them, to not get destabilized by them. Remember, these cosmic energies that are coming in through the sun, through the planets, through this full moon, are very intense. They're transmuting our DNA, they are expanding our consciousness, but particularly if we have a lot of unresolved issues, heavy energy in our energy field, blocks that need to be cleared, these energies can be destabilizing. So it's part of why I think it is so important that this lunar eclipse is saying, look at what's in the shadow. Continue to do the healing work that you need to do to see what's unresolved for you, to see what's blocking you, to see what you're still constricted by or held caught in from the past, so that you can bring that to the light of consciousness, so that you can heal and clear that. I think it's very significant that the healing centaur, Nisus, that is about healing what we need to heal from those ancestral wounds, is conjunct the full moon also. So honor that this is continuing to be a powerful time of facing our shadows, doing the healing work that we need to do in order to be opening to these galactic energies and moving into higher consciousness. So really give yourself time at this full moon to take space. I think it's important not to get caught in too much activity, too much focus on external events or the responsibilities of our lives at the time of this full moon. This full moon is calling us to go deeply within ourselves and to go deep into a meditative process, to be opening to the guidance that's there for us. I truly believe, as we're moving through this profound time, that our pineal glands are getting activated and our capacity to open to these intuitive and psychic gifts are expanding, so that if we take time in meditation, and I think it's critical to take daily time in meditation as we're in this transformation process, when we go into stillness and ask for guidance, it's there for us. We can hear that message coming from our own inner knowing. We can hear that guidance coming to us from our spirit guides. We can hear that guidance coming to us from cosmic consciousness. So this can be a powerful time to open to the guidance that's there for you, the messages that are there for you, to get clarity about what you're needing to clear and release, to open to the healing that you need to do, to then open more fully to your intuition and the ways in which you're being supported and expanding your consciousness. So may we continue to feel our heart connections with each other, for each other, to be in this time of expansion, to be in this time of transformation. And because it is such a powerful full moon and time for meditation and opening to these transpersonal energies, I will also be giving you another video for a meditation that you can use during this time. So may that also be supportive of you. Blessings and love to all of you. Blessed be.